Hey guys, welcome back to some World of Warships. Today we have another new ship to look at here. This time the Lushun. Probably mispronouncing that, I do apologize, but this is the next Dockyard ship. But we're going to be getting this thing in the next update, so Wednesday when the patch goes live, that's when the Dockyard will start. It's going to have 35 phases total, and you'll be able to work through 30 of those phases for free. Well, outside of time, it's free, I suppose. And then each phase will cost you 1,950 doubloons, and the minimum cost to actually get this ship through the Dockyard is going to be 7,000 doubloons. That'll be one of those early starting bonuses that you can only get at the very beginning of the Dockyard. Otherwise, it'll be a little more expensive if you choose to wait before spending your money, just to see if you're going to make it through all of the Dockyard phases or not. As always, that's a little more money. They want to get your money up front and try to get you to play the game a little bit longer than maybe you otherwise would. Maybe something comes up and you have to step away, and then those 7,000 doubloons don't get you the ship, unfortunately. That's kind of how it goes these days with some of these earlier access type things. But let's take a look at what this ship is going to be capable of. This is a Tier 10 Pan-Asian destroyer, and it looks a lot like a different DD that we've already seen in the game, the Neustrashimy, which is another premium ship, but in that case, it is a Tier 9 in the Russian line. And that one has a super heal. It's kind of its gimmick there, where it just doesn't want to die. And other than that, it's pretty reasonable, I guess. Only 4 guns, poor accuracy, at least on the Neustrashimy. So we'll see how that goes today. I'm not a huge fan of poor accuracy DDs. It's one of the reasons I haven't looked into that one all that much. But the other standout feature of the Neustrashimy, and seemingly with the Lushun here as well, is going to be your concealment. 5.6 kilometer detect here is Shimakaze level detect, which is awesome, right? Really, really good stuff at Tier 10. And if we look at like the very detailed statistics that you can find on some third-party sites, it's actually slightly better concealment than Shimakaze. But just the way the decimal points get rounded here, it looks the same. The speed is okay, nearly 38 knots with a speed flag. Nothing too special there, really. Torpedoes are high damaging Deepwater Torps only, so they won't hit destroyers at all, as you can see there. But they will do some really nice damage to battleships, cruisers, aircraft carriers, and their detection range there, only 0.8 kilometers, means there's almost no reaction time to them. So they're going to be really good against a lot of those bigger ships. Only 11 kilometers of range, which is okay, not amazing at this tier, and 65 knots isn't terribly quick. The reload time being 125 seconds, also pretty slow, but when I show you the build here, you'll see that that is the stock speed. We haven't actually gone for a torp build, we're going for a gun build here, since the reload is 1.4 seconds with that gun build before we get Fearless Brawler engaged. 12.8 kilometers range, that's the stock range for now. Might look into a bit more range build later on. But for now, we're going to start with the full conceal, since having these guns combined with this concealment could be pretty insane as far as cap contesting and just bullying destroyers out of the way. And as far as DPM is concerned here, you have the third best DPM at this tier with armor piercing. Not the HE, but the AP is the third best. So if you're catching people broadside, swapping over to the AP is going to be a good idea. I'm not sure why they're called SAP shells. As you can see, there's SAP-42, but they are going to be armor-piercing shells. The HE side of things, a little more disappointing, just slightly less DPM than a Holland, so decidedly upper middle of the pack, but not amazing. The other thing here we see is a 6% fire chance. That does include the flags, so a 5% fire chance base. So our fires per minute aren't all that extreme, so not the best HE performance. I do think you will be wanting to use the armor piercing when available. Does seem to be a pretty massive strength here. 24,000 HP, which is decent. Nothing too crazy, but we do get a heal, as we'll look at in a little bit here. The commander build I've decided to go with here is prioritizing main guns mainly. Fearless Brawler here. Concealment though, trying to get that really low detect alongside these main guns. Survivability Expert here giving us extra HP up front, which is always really good on destroyers. Last stand, of course. Preventive maintenance, pretty standard stuff. Even incoming fire alert, since we don't actually get ourselves a smoke. Yes, no smoke, but we do get ourselves a 5.5 kilometer range hydro, which is nearly our detect range, so not quite a stealth hydro, but very close. And then we do have this heavy repair teams, which is going to heal back around 30% of our HP, I think. But it will take 60 seconds. So heals back more, but it takes a little bit longer to use it. Something to consider here also would be taking Superintendent to give you more healing. We'll see. I'm kind of going full guns here to start with, see how that goes. We might even swap out Concealment here for extra range. That could be a really interesting way to play it. Getting you probably 14-ish kilometers of range with what looks like Grozovoi guns. The style here means they have pretty decent shell velocity, so they're not too difficult to lead at those longer ranges. It could be a really, really nice gunboat to play like that. You don't have the speed to really juke like a Kleber would, but the extra range might give you the opportunity to do a little open watering and still be safe. Otherwise, you might be looking to use island cover and that kind of thing to farm a little bit from relative safety. And 5.6 kilometers goes up to 6.1 or 6.2 without the concealment upgrade on your commander, which we would just swap over to range here, which is still pretty comfortable at this tier. And as for upgrades here, we do have a pretty basic gunboat build here, going for main guns on reload here. We could go extra range even, but DPM I think matters a little bit more. And going for aiming systems here, don't really want to risk the poor dispersion potentially here. Like I said, I haven't played this thing quite yet. We're doing some first impressions, but this thing might be struggling when it comes to dispersion. I know Neustrashimy does. Grozovoi does at times as well, although it's a little nicer because you have 3 turrets instead of just 2, like the Lushun and the Neustra do. But I think that's about it for the Lushun here. This is the new Dockyard ship, of course, and well, it's not the hardest thing to do. It does take a lot of time to get these things, so let's see if this thing is going to be worth the time. And before we hop into a few games, the DPM here is better than Grozovoi. Just checking here, the Grozovoi has 154,000 HE DPM, and this one's around 197,000. So it is an improvement on DPM over the Grozovoi. Of course, we don't get all the tools of the Grozovoi, no smoke in particular here, but this heal might sustain us pretty well, and the added DPM will be nice to have. So, getting into our first game here, we do see the rear turret, at least, is a 360-degree turret. Let me just check real quick. Front turret, also 360. So 360-degree turrets are very, very nice to have here. And the other thing here we should note is the healing. It is over 8,000 HP per heal. Those definitely do take a minute still, like I mentioned, but that's a lot of HP. It is about a third of what we are going to be capable of. Wow, that plane kind of just popped up there. We do have to be a little careful, but 2.4 kilometer detect on our AA is quite nice here. Of course, we're going to leave our AA off, well, as much as we can. Monty, a decent target here for the Deepwater Torpedoes. Got a rune here as well. Playing so aggressive here because I want to take a fight. See our matchmaker here, we got very, very lucky, I would say. So yeah, looking to take a fight here with, I don't even know what would necessarily be here. Some DD. Cossack. There we go. Pretty good reload. Fortunate, went a little too far here. Use C to move our camera like that. Took some pain, and actually didn't do too much in return. 10 hits for 3,000 damage? Is that really all we got? That's unfortunate. Alrighty, we'll use our Hydro here to find all these guys. But hey, we do have a boatload of healing, which is very nice. And hopefully we'll be able to get some damage in on this Cossack yet here, while he doesn't have too much support. Yeah, Monty's leaving. Rune is going to be behind this island. Very, very nice. Our turret angles are pretty okay, actually. Rune's around already. So let's start up our heal.
The ship is on fire.
Got to make sure we hit. Well as trying to dodge, of course. Pretty unfortunate that our Brindisi actually missed Cossack, or actually didn't go for him. That would have been quite nice. Oh, I think he missed him again. That sap would have been awesome to get in there. Oh well, we do not end up getting him. That is unfortunate. 6,000 HP left. Not a lot. Oh, our Brindisi's missing everything. Oh no! All right, that's not a good showing, guys. That is a Cossack. And... okay. Well, that was not great start. Yeah, the damage, man. 35 hits for 11,000? Is that it? Okay. Superintendent might be required, guys. Might be necessary. Minute 45 on this heal. That is a long time. Okay. Gotta be careful. But Yukikaze doesn't have too much DPM. I shouldn't be scared. This is weird, man. I shouldn't be scared, and yet I took a lot of damage there, I felt like. It's a pretty big ship. Okay, it took a little while here, but we do make it to our next heal. It's gonna take a while to recover that HP. I'm wishing I had Superintendent right now, certainly. Fortunately, that is healable HP. The thing we're gonna have to look for next is how much of this HP now are we able to heal yet? Permanent damage is always going to be the problem with these super heals. One of the reasons Salem isn't as good as it may sound on paper is because its super heal doesn't bring back a lot of Citadel damage, hardly at all, in fact. So the deeper you get into a lot of those heals, the less they actually heal back for you. So 17 seconds, we'll get a little more back here. Yoshino guns certainly will hurt. Okay, Yukazu's far away, so no risk of getting spotted here. And it looks like a blowout in this one. So not much action, but not good if we're struggling against like a Cossack. Oh wow, and it does seem like the rest of our HP is permanent, so that fourth heal may or may not be useful. I think the damage we're eating here was, for the most part, gonna be HE, so that should be healable, or as healable as it could be, right? Like, we're not eating sap damage or torp damage, that kind of thing. Interesting. Yep, pointed out. Okay, that's fine. At least we got some a bit of a warning here on what this ship may or may not be capable of. Yeah, that hurt, man. That hurt a lot. Yeah, the rune only got 2,000 into us, so it wasn't him. Yeah, the Cossack did 14k in 26 hits. And we did 11k in 35 hits. What? Did I just shatter a bunch? They were all pens. Okay, I guess that's just the low HE alpha? I guess? Maybe I should have been swapping to AP? That always just seems like bait most of the time. The reason I don't like swapping to AP on DDs, even ones that are supposed to have pretty good AP against destroyers, it's so easy to just angle in. Like whenever I'm fighting someone who theoretically has good AP, like a Daring, for example, I love it when they're trying to optimize AP and HE. It takes their mind off of dodging, aiming properly, and it's very easy for me as a player to angle in the instant I see AP out of their ships. Then I just angle in and it starts bouncing and they're doing no damage. They swap to the HE, I'll angle out again to try and bait it, and all the while maybe getting more of my gun power online, and then while they're busy trying to swap around, I'm just focusing in a lot of damage, focusing on my dodging and on my aiming there. So I'm not a huge fan of that overall. It tends to be bait a lot of the time in those DD engagements, but maybe that's what we got to do here with our better AP DPM and hope that the shells don't just overpen things. For the next game, I'm also going to swap up the build a little bit here. I am going to take Superintendent. We'll see if we end up making use of that. I'm also going to continue with Fearless Brawler since we don't have a smoke. It's very likely we're going to get full value out of that 10% DPM. I'm going to give up the 5% we would see here. I'm going to go with range though. So overall, if you do have a lot of smoke and as a DD, you're a gunboat DD, but you're using smoke a lot of the time, you're not detected. Main better and AA Specialist is just better than Fearless Brawler since this one's so conditional. But on a lot of gunboat DDs where you don't have a smoke, you're going to get a lot of value out of Fearless Brawler. And even when you aren't, the advantages here are just you have twice as good of a skill, 5% versus 10% reload here. So it usually works out that this is a little better Fearless Brawler on a ship without a smoke. It can be good on ships with smoke as well if you're not too reliant on it, but a lot of the time when you use a smoke to farm, you'd rather just have the 5% there and then play to the fullest strength of your ship. So game number 2 here, we do find ourselves in super ship matchmaker. Not too bad, but there are a couple super ships in here. No carrier sub to deal with in this one, which is quite nice. Can imagine that being a little difficult, although our concealment's still quite good even without concealment upgrade here. 6.2 here is really not bad at all. And we do get ourselves 15.3 kilometers of range here. Could be a really good option for farming. And then we do have ourselves a Holland over here to help us out. Could be pretty strong. We do have to worry about radar though. 1, 2, 3. All their cruisers have radar. So that's pretty spooky. But we'll see what's out here. Z52, sure. Start on that. Booster, yep. Yeah, the damage, man. The damage feels just abysmal. Wow. Somebody got some good hits in. We got some good support in this one. 7,000 damage? 24 hits, guys. We hit him 24 times. Whoops. We could eat these Torps, and we're just lucky we didn't. 24 hits, 7,000 damage. What? Wild. Okay. AP, man. We are definitely gonna have to look for some AP. There, Hydra going here. There we go. We found the Z. He's even reversing out. Our team actually might be able to hit him. But our Hydro does provide a lot of value, 5.5. We don't get the full value like we would see out of the concealment focus build, right? There we get some very nice benefits of it nearly matching our detection. Look at this range, huh? 10 seconds out to 15 kilometers. It's pretty usable. The guy's reversing though, so that's not going to actually do too much for us. Although that said, double fire? What? How lucky is that? Don't have the best fire chance here, guys. Okay. What is their plan, huh? Worcester goes down, Z goes down. Very nice. What's the plan, eh?
Torpedoes to starboard.
And we kind of just wait here, right? Coming? Seems like it. And then we get ready for the DD over here, I guess. Deepwaters. Yep, those are pretty good. Alrighty. And then we have a DD out here. Okay, we're doing damage this time at least. Torps, though. And I've got the AP, guys. I'll try it. We'll give it a shot. Radar? Sure. No, this... Okay. I'm actually gonna... I'm not too confident in this ship right now, so I'm actually gonna turn away slightly. Okay, full pen. It did full pen one of those, so maybe you do have to be just hard going after the AP, just because the HE is so bad in its alpha damage. We didn't take nearly as much damage this time, too. I played it a little better, probably. Used the island a little more. Also, we had a Holland that opened up earlier than us, so that probably helped us stay as less of a, you know, the first one in. It's probably more that than anything, if I'm being honest.
Our team has taken the lead.
But in high tier, this is a situation where we're going to be pretty glad to have the extra range. Get ourselves the cap here. Move over to farm the Duncan, Minnesota, that kind of thing. Duncan's already on some fires, which is nice. So yeah, it's Grozovoi arcs, which are very, very good. So you do fire a lot of shells, right? It's a lot of shells, but yeah, the alpha of them is just not that amazing. Also here we're going to shatter a lot just because the way the superstructure works on some of these is a little weird. There we go, grabbed ourselves a fire. I wonder if this guy's super healed yet, not sure. We're a big target though, so we should be careful. Nice, want me get some? And we're actually not detected here. Interesting. Minnesota, there we go. That's a target we want to see. So yeah, the DP, well, the number of shells fired would lead you to believe this is probably going to be very, very strong. But I just think the lack of alpha is really going to hold it back. And we're getting honestly a lot of fires here, given the fire chance, I would say. Used his rep on a single one, so the hope would be now. Don't even know if he had fire prevention. Take advantage of that. Oh, he's getting a little low. 360 turrets are nice though, guys. Not gonna lie. Overleading? No, just one bit of bad dispersion there. There we go, got ourselves the fire we were looking for. Maybe it's better than I think. Maybe I just had a really bad start there in that first game. I don't know. I don't see it being like that insane. Deepwater Torps are pretty nice though. Although that said, those were kind of just... Any Torps would do a great job in that kind of situation. But Deepwaters are pretty nice to have. Alaska here going to be pretty difficult to deal with, so probably just going to walk up here a little bit and then just try and farm the Hanover just a little bit. 130 is not bad. 130 is not bad at all. Hanover, there it is. That's the juicy meatball we're looking for. So much superstructure and HP to farm there. Shells landing short, really? This aiming system sometimes is weird. There we go. Now they're fine. Okay, somebody else got the fire. It's damage control. Oh, nice! I got the Alaska. Very good. Should be trying to get spotted, theoretically, just because we do have the Fearless Brawler. I can tell that it does give you some better reload. It's a long damage control. Maybe they have DCP mod. Too high now. Come on. There we go. There we go. Come on. Give me the Hanover. There we go, there's a fire. Oh, there's a heal. I think that's it. That's all it is. Okay, 150, near enough. That's a pretty good result, although we did receive a lot of free damage from that Schlieffen there. Pretty fortunate the Schlieffen Hydra ran out there at that exact moment we dumped Torps. Deepwaters, of course, aren't the best into Hydro. Kind of negating that advantage they would have. 58,000 damage from the raw HE Alpha, or for the most part. It's okay. That's okay. Decent. It feels. I mean, it feels low on a DD. Maybe my barometer. I'm just not calibrated right for DDs at the moment, but that seems low. It seems quite low, but maybe it's fine, especially considering the concealment, right? We're not playing a Kleber, for example, you know, or a Mogador, the one I played so much in Tier 9 ranked. Speaking of, very excited to play that again this next update. Getting ourselves a Tier 9 ranked patch. That's always going to be a good time for me. Running it down in the Mogador like that was very fun, but those have quite a bit of alpha damage. This one just seems to lack. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. What does a Harugumo have for alpha damage? Because that one is like, you fire a lot of shells, low alpha damage. 1200, so it is lower yet. But you get 5 turrets instead of just 2 here? I guess so. 1400. What's the Grozovoi? Ah, there we go. 1800. Okay, so the HE is like nerfed quite substantially. That's why it's been feeling a little bit low. Because it is. But the AP is still there as a good option. But I kind of just spammed HE in this one, in this second one too. But that's going to be it. That's the Lushun here. We'll probably see some more out of this ship and the Lauria. The 2 new ships that we've seen for this update. You'll see them more on this channel as I play them and maybe get some good games. Then I can talk about more of their strengths and weaknesses once I play them some more, get a little more experience in them. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.